Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to go over to my mom's house and work on getting her to go vegan. Now, my mother is honestly the kindest, most selfless person I've ever known. Uh, no hyperbole there, not exaggerating. She is the sweetest, most compassionate being um, that I know. But at the same time, she's actively participating in some of the most heinous cruelty that goes on in the world today. Um, so let's find out how much she's aware of that, and let's see if we can get her to take a look at things and hopefully go vegan. Right, she knows I'm coming, but she doesn't know exactly when, so maybe we'll...
What are you doing? Turn that thing off. What's that silver thing on the back?
It's a stand. Hi, Ma. You look nice.
Oh.
Ready for your close-up?
Please, no. I have sleep wrinkles and whatnot. Don't.
You know that you engage directly or indirectly in cruelty, right? So, to start, I want to know first, why aren't you vegan?
I daily I'm aware of so many horrible things. I mean, I put the on the news and I have to turn it. So there are layers and layers of misery. So the veganism is not even on my list. When I worked at the bookstore, there were whole sections, and vegan grew. It became 2 whole shelves. So I know it's definitely in there. Now, food, I've always had issues of overeating, liking food, and thinking of food. So I'm aware of the vegan and the cruelty-free, and it is very upsetting. And I am becoming more aware now that the grazing of the cattle leads to gas.
Climate change.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so it's huge. The problem is huge. They're going down the rainforest to cattle to plant. So yeah, I'm aware of it, but I guess
Smarter than your average meat eater.
No. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm aware of it for everyone. I try not to. So now when I do buy chicken, I try to buy organic, farm raised, free range. I don't really eat red meat, not for any political reason.
Just healthy.
I just don't care.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've never really liked beef.
No, and so for me, my cruelty would be cheese or dairy products.
Yeah, because you could easily cut out meat, right? I mean, even chicken.
Yeah,
you
and
don't
the reason
really need it. It's
I
just
do
the
is
protein,
because of
right?
peanut butter, because I do that 35% protein, and it's hard to get that now. The whey protein works, but that's dairy too. So.
Right.
It's difficult to change your diet.
It is. Yeah.
And part of me feels like, well, it feels fake to buy chicken.
Well, yeah, and that stuff I think just helps people that are newly transitioning go, look, you can still have stuff that's similar to what you were eating before. And then after you're comfortable, you just kind of go, well, really what tastes best is whole foods, things that are in their original state, rice.
Or like I like
beans.
Right.
Fruit, we love fruit. So, but the other thing, it's sort of with the protein, you find that the plus side is, like, when I first went vegan, I was still trying to do the keto body stuff. So I was using the macros from Kino Body, which is 35% protein, 35% of calories from protein. And I was still trying to do that while vegan. So I was trying to get, I use protein supplements like Vega, like plant protein powder, which is definitely not as good. But then I come to find that we probably don't need this much protein. You can talk about conspiracy that, it's propaganda from the meat and dairy industries that we've ever needed this much protein. People weren't protein freaks back in the 60s and 70s, and there were plenty of fit people.
When we were raising you, we had Jane Brody, Times food writer, science writer. She completely endorsed the food pyramid that the U.S. did, and so that's how we were supposed to eat.
Balance.
And now, but it is sad that it's all these lobbyists who are pushing it. It's obscene. So politically, I can see what you're doing. I admire it.
Well,
so you want to know whether I'm going to switch?
No, not yet. Well, I'd like you to. I hope that everyone does.
So why do you feel?
Eventually.
You feel like it's your mission to try to educate people?
Well, I guess what happens is, because when I made the switch, I said, well, I'm not going to be one of these preachy vegans.
And your brother's both like that.
But then what happens is, and I did feel that way. I was like, well, I won't say this to anybody.
But now
what happens
is
you start to get, now look, YouTube activism. What happens is you just become so, I really think of it as I was asleep and now I'm awake. And being awake to it all, I want everyone else to wake up because I feel that it's so important because of it's kind of like the world problem. Of course, there's the ethical thing with the animals. What they go through is horrendous. Then you have the environment, which you already brought up, and then also you have starving. A lot of people don't make the connection between starving humans who don't have enough to eat. All of their grain and vegetables, things they could be eating, grain, goes to the animals. It actually, you're using more grain as a meat eater, eating a hamburger, than you are just eating the grain directly. So there's all this food that could be used for, we wouldn't have a starving planet anymore.
Except in the grain, it's
yeah, but I don't think starving people in Africa would care about that. And, that's for another time, but GMO isn't necessarily evil. It depends on how it's done. But GMO could be the savior of humanity.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah, some of them are, actually, it's funny, you see now a lot of GMO project, non-GMO, even like Smart Dogs and things like that. They're non-GMO soy, which, because Monsanto's been so demonized, people really look for that on their soy. Well, I think the distinction is the GMO isn't so bad about Monsanto. It's their mafia-like, tactics where they, the monopoly and everything. But just modifying the soybean is not in itself. Just because something's not natural doesn't make it bad. So I just want to bring it back to an ethics thing. Where you're aware of these things, like you said, peripherally. But are you aware of just like how heinous it is?
Probably not, because I don't see much love.
Right.
Do you consider levels of consciousness?
Well, they certainly know suffering.
Yeah.
And they know that they want to stay alive. Just gotta try to get out. You got to think of it as your dog. Dog knows when death is coming or danger is here.
So for you, a lot of it is the cruelty-free.
That was the initial thing. That was the first thing that made me, okay, I gotta change. And then the other things were kind of like
so you feel like you have to
push me.
So that they'll stop saying.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I said, everyone needs a different voice. Maybe Gary Yourofsky's not good for you, but he was good for me. Maybe someone needs my voice. There might be someone out there. And initially, you might remember, I actually was gonna go vegetarian.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't give up the yogurt. And I need the protein
I
from
know,
the whey.
and you completely switched.
Yeah, it was just because I realized the hypocrisy. I was like, well, the reason I would want to go vegetarian is because these animals suffer and then die or killed. But the same thing happens to the dairy and egg animals, is that they suffer maybe more
But what
because
about
they're
if
repeatedly raped and have their children taken away over and over and over. Yeah.
See,
And they
I
have
didn't think of it
mastitis.
that way. How do you know that they're raped? It's artificially. That's.
Fist of a human. It's not like they,
I mean,
you
like
know,
women
let
when
a
they go.
bull into the.
No, I thought that they artificially like humans.
Yeah,
They
but-
injected into.
But humans volunteer.
Yeah.
These people are going out there and repeatedly,
But are the animals?
you know, putting their arm in there. You know, and this is why you said peripherally, and I said, do you really know?
No.
So this is where I wanted to get today. Have you watched my video, How to Go Vegan in 268 Minutes? Will you
Is
watch
it on YouTube?
It is.
268 minutes?
Yeah.
So that means it's 4 hours?
No, my video is only like 10 minutes, but it's telling you how to do it,
Oh.
how to make the switch in 268 minutes. And the reason it's 268 minutes is because that's the length of time you need to watch these three things that I call the conversion cocktail. Which is, if you watch these three things, it would be hard for any good-hearted, logical person to not go vegan. I just don't. The problem is, I don't think enough people will watch it. Will watch all three.
So you want me to make it?
But I wonder if you will.
Where will I find it?
Well, you can watch my video,
Which is
which is on my YouTube channel. And that'll tell you where you can find them all. One of them's on Netflix, two are on YouTube. But if you were to watch all of those, and then I check back with you after you have, it's all it is watching something. Deal? I love you.